Air will briefly move into our area within the next few hours. Temperatures currently sitting in the mid to low 40s, the exception 39 degrees in Hillsdale. We're at 44 for our current temperature in Lansing and 45 right now over in Charlotte. We will continue to see these on and off chances for rainfall as we go throughout the rest of the day. We have another round of rain in the forecast for tomorrow with some warmer temperatures, but just don't get too used to it. We have a big cool down moving in to finish off the work week. We'll have more details coming up in just a bit. 6 News at noon starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at noon.
New U.S. tariffs on imported goods from Canada, Mexico, and China went into effect overnight as President Donald Trump gets ready to speak to Congress and the American people. It's our top story at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Megan Vaselli. In response, both Canada and Mexico announced tariffs on American goods. Natalie Brand is here for you with the latest from Washington.
25% tariffs are now in effect on the nation's two biggest trading partners, Canada and Mexico, as President Trump gets ready to address a joint session of Congress tonight.
It's going to be very costly for people to take advantage of this country.
The U.S. also increased tariffs on imports from China, bringing them to 20%. Each country has vowed to respond with tariffs of its own. But on Fox News, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent downplayed impacts to consumers.
I am highly confident that the Chinese manufacturers will eat the tariffs. Prices won't go up. With Canada and Mexico, I think we're in the middle of a transition.
But even some Republicans are worried.
Maine's economy is very integrated with Canada. Certain Maine products, such as lobster and blueberries, are often processed in Canada and then come back into the United States.
The president's address here on Capitol Hill also comes as the Trump administration paused military aid to Ukraine following Friday's contentious meeting with President Zelensky.
The president has been very clear he wants the Ukrainians to come to the negotiating table. I think when the Ukrainians come to the negotiating table, everything is on the table.
President Trump's domestic agenda is also expected to be front and center tonight, including efforts to shrink the size of the federal government, with over 25,000 layoffs so far.
Firing federal workers who do cancer research and Alzheimer's research, that does not make us a stronger country or a stronger government.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is among the Democrats who have invited fired federal workers as special guests tonight. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Senator Elissa Slotkin will deliver the Democratic response and will have a guest with her. She'll be joined by Andrew Lennox from Livingston County. Lennox served in the Marines for 10 years before working with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs in Ann Arbor. He says last month the Department of Government Efficiency laid him off via email, which Senator Slotkin says was arbitrary and shameful. And here in Lansing, dozens of people are at the state capitol right now protesting against the current administration. This follows the layoffs of thousands of federal government workers. 6 News reporter Taryn Simmons joins us now live from the Capitol with what these protesters hope to achieve. Taryn, what's going on out there today?
Yeah, Megan, there are dozens of frustrated protesters here. Some tell me they're here to fight against DOGE, a task force that was created by President Trump and led by tech billionaire Elon Musk to slash federal funding and its workers. Since its creation, it's caused heavy pushback. Some protesters tell me they're here for the people and for change. They say that Elon Musk has hurt many Americans. They say they're fed up with Musk and the current oligarchy and Trump's treatment of Ukrainian President Zelensky. They say Musk has no business being in office.
I just feel like DOGE is, when he uses as his symbol a chainsaw, that's telling you that these are not careful cuts. These are destructive cuts, and they are going to destroy our safety net in this country that already is very porous and not what we need. You look at the European Union and people are better taken care of by their governments. It's only going to get worse, and we really need to fight it as much as we can.
Other protesters tell me they're here accepting donations to combat against homelessness and the food insecurity problem here in Lansing area. Here for you live at the Capitol, Taryn Simmons, 6 News.
Taryn, thank you for that live report. Meanwhile, Congressman Tom Barrett, chairman of the House Veterans Affairs Subcommittee on Technology Modernization, sent a letter to VA Secretary Doug Collins calling for a review of the agency's workforce reduction process. The letter comes amid concerns that otherwise qualified employees, including many veterans, are being dismissed as part of broader staffing cuts. In the letter, Congressman Barrett asks Secretary Collins to review the agency's process to guarantee only those who've truly underperformed and not met their assignment expectations be relieved of their duties. He also asks the VA to immediately reconsider reinstating those who were released despite meeting all performance-related expectations, and find ways to support those who were dismissed by helping to make their transition to new employment as smooth as possible. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson announced today that more than 318,000 inactive voter registrations will be removed from the state's voter rolls next month. Once canceled, Michigan will have removed more than 1 million out-of-date registrations under its voter list maintenance process. Right now, the state has about 7.3 million active registered voters and a total voting age population of about 7.9 million. The state's qualified voter file, known as QVE, currently includes about 577,000 inactive registrations that are slated for cancellation. It also includes about 600,000 inactive voter registrations belonging to voters who have not cast a ballot in the last 6 years and who may have died or moved. New at noon, the demolition of Old Eastern High School officially has started. Crews are on the scene right now, tearing down exterior walls with a large crane. University of Michigan Health Sparrow bought the property years ago and plans to build a new mental health facility at the site, which is right next to its hospital. A group of people have been trying to preserve at least part of the building, pushing for city leaders to block the demolition, but with no luck. We'll have much more for you on this story coming up tonight on 6 News.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It's been a gloomy and rainy start to our Tuesday, with a couple of light sprinkles still actively falling across mid-Michigan this afternoon. Now, for areas north of I-94, notice our rainfall totals are rather unimpressive. Only a couple hundredths of an inch of precipitation actively falling thus far in Grand Ledge and St. John's. We're closing in on 3/10 of an inch over in Hillsdale and right around 1/4 of an inch of rain thus far over in the city of Jackson. Again, satellite and radar still shows a couple of light to moderate rain showers, especially for those right along the state line, but also notice that we have a lot of dry air beginning to develop to our west. Even though we are briefly going to be seeing some dry time across the area this afternoon, our area of low pressure, which is still centered off to our southwest, will still bring several rounds of precipitation to our area as we go throughout the rest of the day as it continues to track off to the northeast. Precision cast again shows some dry pockets of air beginning to develop across the area this afternoon, but more widespread and actually the heaviest of the precipitation will be returning to the area this evening, continuing throughout the overnight hours tonight. Another pocket of dry air moving in just in time for our Wednesday morning commute, but then again, another round of scattered precipitation will be moving in Wednesday afternoon and evening, and a couple of our models are hinting at the potential for maybe a few isolated rumbles of thunder during this time frame. We'll still hold on to the chance for precipitation Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, but notice by then temperatures really are going to take a big tumble, allowing for maybe just a couple of light snow flurries to fly across the area early Thursday morning. I do not think we will have any significant impacts to our Thursday morning commute, however. In terms of additional rainfall, from now until the time we finish off the day on Wednesday, we could be picking up an additional ½ an inch, possibly as much as an inch of precipitation across the area. The other factor that we really need to consider going to be our winds. As we go throughout the rest of our Tuesday, winds gusting between 20-25 miles per hour. They will really become a lot breezier by the time we hit early early Wednesday morning, closing in on 40 miles per hour. But notice at that time, winds still coming out of the south, which will help to bring a much more warmer air mass into the area. Those breezy conditions continue throughout our Thursday, but notice by then, winds out of the northwest will help to really take temperatures down by the time we actually finish off the work week. Outside right now, notice that we still have a couple of raindrops on the lens, specifically over in Jackson, but temperatures generally hovering in the mid to low 40s across the area. Notice a lot warmer off to our southwest, mid to low 50s in portions of Iowa and Kansas, and that's where our flow is directed out of as we go throughout the rest of the day. So you will notice on our 6-day forecast, temperatures today will be topping out in the low 50s. Another warm and rainy day expected for tomorrow, and then we cool things down. Thursday, a high of 36 degrees. That cloud cover will decrease throughout the day. Some question marks surrounding the forecast on Friday. It does look like there will be an area of low pressure passing just to the south of the state line, so we could have more of a wintry mix of precipitation across the area by then, but still a little bit far out, so that system could still miss us.
All right, thanks for keeping an eye on that for us. I know it's been a lot lately. Yes. Spring. All right, Kendall, thank you. Coming up, a major move by the Trump administration to stop all U.S. aid to Ukraine. What the president hopes this will accomplish. So keep